All right, so we're at the Sandals Grand here in St. Lucia. We're heading to the Friday night street party. We're also going to hike up Pigeon Park. So stay tuned for everything that we get into and see how you can enjoy it on your vacation when you come and visit St. Lucia.
Gonna be a good night, and tonight's gonna be a good night.
Amazing views. It's definitely not a hard hike. All right, so on the way to the resort, we took the helicopter in. We were able to see amazing views, and we got there in about 15 minutes. We heard from a lot of past guests that this was the easiest way because the bus ride is an hour and 45 minutes, or you could also take the ferry. So either way, do it. We had canceled the helicopter ride on the way back, and again, regretted it later because I ended up getting car sick. So definitely check it out and these amazing views. Once we arrived to the resort, we got there before anyone else did. You can see it's totally empty. So this was an advantage of being on the helicopter. Our room was already ready so we can get to the fun. After we were all checked in, we were heading to our room. You passed by the gift shop. In the middle of the hall, there are two smaller pool tables if you want to play pool. Up to on the left side, there are also larger pool tables and an air conditioned area and also a dart game. To the right, we have Columbia emeralds. If you want to buy any jewelry, it's really expensive. Don't recommend it, but hey, do you if you want to propose to someone while you're there. This is also located on the second floor. You can find the loyalty area if you want to purchase additional vacations with Sandals. The pub is to the left, and then to the right is the front desk. And also to the left, a little bit further up, is excursions if you want to schedule some excursions through island routes. This is the main sitting area. There are pianists that play, there are people that come out and sing, so you can sit in this area and enjoy some nighttime music if you would like to. To the left here is the culinary desk. So if you are looking to get one of the local dishes, you can definitely schedule it there. The local dish of St. Lucia is saltfish and figs, so ask them to make some for you. Our room was located straight ahead on the third floor. We were located to the right side so we could overlook the Caribbean and see the sunset. We couldn't see the sunrise in the morning, but we were able to see the sunset. If you want to see the sun rise, you'll be on the Atlantic side, but you won't be able to see the beach. All right, let's head up and see what our room looks like. All right, so this is our room here in St. Lucia. All right, we got a bathroom, standard Sandals bathroom with the amenities, shampoo, cleanser, your closet with robes and a safe for your personal belongings. It's the bed. There's also a mini bar, drinks in the refrigerator. Then, ooh, look at this cake for our anniversary and champagne. And you got the balcony looking out over the ocean. Or is that the Caribbean? It's one of them. It's water. All right, so now let's go check out the rest of the resort. So after you leave our room, you can go downstairs to the first floor and it takes you directly out to the beach. To the right are two of the restaurants, also the dessert shop if you're looking for a crepe. We sat to the left the majority of the time. Twice we get up around 7 a.m. just to snag a couple of chairs, not too early on vacation. And we had access to shade every morning. All right, so I'm a sucker for saving money. So I didn't want to pay the photographer to take our photos. So I set up on the railings my phone so I can take some photos of us. So if you are in Sandals and you have a tripod, you have a phone, anything, and you don't want to pay the photographer to take your photos, you can do it all on your own. All right, so now we're heading to the other end of the resort. As I mentioned before, Bayside is to the right, the Italian restaurant is to the right. Straight ahead is a couple of the pools. There's one behind us where we sat, there's one further ahead, there's the hot tubs. The Jerk Shack is also straight ahead, and the bar as well. And then we have Pigeon Island that's straight ahead. Before we actually sat down and got comfortable, we just wanted to scope everything out. So we just took a little walk. After you pass the Jerk Shack, you pass Barefoot by the Sea, and it takes you to the scuba area and also the other sandals activities that are available, like paddle boarding, sailing. These are the locations if you want to dive that you would go to if you sign up for that. Right across from the scuba area is Gordon's, the restaurant on the water. Definitely make a reservation to eat there. You'll have beautiful views. Pigeon Island is there, right outside of Sandals. You want to ride a horse? Ride a horse. No, thank you. You can do souvenir shopping. Again, it's just a quick stop right outside of Sandals. There are shirts, other stores back there. We're going to go to the Thirsty Parrot. It's a restaurant that's right there after we do our hike to Pigeon Park a little bit later. There's Pretty Escapes there, but again, you can just be out here with the locals having a good time. So definitely walk off of property. Be safe, but walk off property and check it out. Look at Dwight having a conversation. He never meets a stranger. That food smells good. It smells better than Sandals. So we found out that Sandals Grand is one of the larger of the three Sandals resorts on St. Lucia. Once we entered back into our building, we were able to find the other restaurants. There weren't that many that were available, I think 9 total at max. Once you leave our building, you go to the back side, which again, like I said, is the Atlantic side. That's the views that you have and the pool view. Here you have the swim out pools right outside of our building. If you have a swim out pool, you are not able to see the Caribbean from your room, so just be mindful of that. So these are the back rooms here. A lot of them just overlook the Atlantic Ocean. But then the other swim outs, again, like I mentioned, you're just facing the pools and the buildings. And then on this way is to Soy, Kimonos, and Bombay. There's an activity board. There's a couple of these around that have the activities of the day. They stay the same, mainly. We have Sandals, Soy, Kimonos, Bombay. And they're not hard to miss because they're all, again, like I said, they're together. So this is Soy first. you go around this way to get to kimonos and Bombay. Overall, in my opinion, the food was just okay at this Sandals Resort. Nothing spectacular. So I want to show you the Butler area. You've already seen the beach. All right, so this is kind of like the garden view area. There's different little huts here, nice and private. Again, they're right outside of the beachfront rooms. So you do have the garden view. If you get a Butler suite, you're not able to see the beach. I want to show you some of the bungalows too. Bungalows. So there's a couple of those that are right on the water. So if you're interested in that, if you want to be even more secluded and private, definitely check out the bungalows. All right, so again, look at that beautiful view. Look at that. All right, so leaving the Butler suite, got my chair right there. Bam. Are the bungalows right on the water. You have your own little private floaties in the water. But again, very similar view to the main suites. But again, it's just private, so you can definitely check that out. We arrived in time for the Friday night street party, so we definitely checked it out. We visited Duke's Place for the fish. If you go get the fish, they also had lamby, but the fish was what everyone was talking about. There's also Chance that's there selling his juices for $6 a bottle. It's worth the wait. We waited in line for an hour at Duke's Place. We got the fish with the rice. They had barracuda and tuna. We received the barracuda. The people that were with us waited, so they ran out of tuna, so they had to wait an additional 15 minutes for them to cut it up. But it's grilled fish, the best fish I've ever tasted in my life. Afterwards, we headed to the street party just to enjoy the vibe there. But here's the fish. And don't forget the sauce. After we ate, we hung out at the bar upstairs just to see everything that was going on and also just not to be in a big crowd. You can find souvenirs here. There's additional food outside of Duke's, but again, Duke's is the one that was recommended. We paid the Sandals shuttle $60 for both of us to get transportation to the Friday night street party and back. If you get a cab, you're going to pay a very similar price, probably $30. We just wanted to be safe, so we went ahead and scheduled it through Sandals. $60, got on the bus with a couple of other individuals who were visiting as well. This is a view from upstairs at the bar. Again, lots of people walking around. There was also a DJ playing music in the center. There was dancing. So, again, very hype. We stayed between 8 and 12 o'clock. Then we got on the shuttle and went back. But if you go on your own, you can definitely stay later. We've heard that it doesn't end till 3 o'clock and then the party continues at a different location. All right, the next morning we went to Toscanini's. Let's discuss a little bit more about this restaurant. So we had it for breakfast. We sat for a long time. The restaurant is empty. And yes, I know you may say you're on island time, so you have nothing else to do. But it took 2 hours. When we sat down, the waitress asked us if we had anything to do or anywhere to be. So be mindful of that. If you go to Toscanini's, if you have somewhere to be, go next door to Bayside. Beautiful views though. All right, we are getting ready to hike up Pigeon Island this morning. Right there. Wish us luck. Pigeon Island opens at 9:30 a.m. So we started at 9:30 just so that it was cool and we didn't get too hot. It cost $10 for each of us to get in. When you first enter the park, you can go to the left to start to hike up Fort Rodney and Signal Peak, or you can go to the right to visit the Soldiers Barracks. This is the Soldiers Barracks on Pigeon Island. Did you see it? All right, so I'm going to save you from my heavy breathing. So it took us about 30 minutes to get from the bottom to the top and then 30 minutes back down. We spent about an hour and a half in the whole entire Pigeon Island Park. So it's definitely an easy hike. As you can see, everything's paved or the rocks are paved. So not too strenuous if you're going up to Fort Rodney. Signal Peak is the harder hike for you experienced hikers out there. So this is stop one before we go up a little bit further to stop two. Excuse my hard breathing. We made it up to the top. Oh, those are brave souls down there. There's people on the cliff. It's amazing. So we were just down there, hiked up here. So this is the Atlantic, the other side of Pigeon Island. So one side was the Caribbean that we can see from Sandals, and then we have the Atlantic here. mentioned earlier that we wanted to go to the Thirsty Parrot after we hiked Pigeon Island Park because we were going to be hungry afterwards. We got there, waited for a really long time, and we ended up leaving because service was really slow. Again, island time, but we eventually made it. So this is the Dorado with the coconut curry sauce with rice, a little bit of vegetables. We also have the lambi with coconut curry sauce. It was recommended that we get the coconut curry sauce. I do want to note here that it does take a little bit of time for you to get your food. So if you are in a rush or pressed for time, the Thirsty Parrot is not the place for you. Amazing views of Pigeon Island, but again, you have to have time to come here and you will receive the food that they have available for that day. Everything is not available every day, so be patient with them. Have the time available to come and sit. We've been here since 1 o'clock. It took us an hour to get our food. Be mindful of that and enjoy. Okay, so how was the food? The lamby was a little tough, actually a lot tough. The Dorado fish was good, actually. The rice was good. The plantains were good. The salad was good. Again, just that lamby was a little bit tough. So, maybe try another restaurant for that. Go to Duke's for the lamby. So definitely check out Thirsty Parrot if you're here. Try the fish. Try the chicken as was recommended by us. The lamby just takes a little bit more time to tenderize. It just wasn't as tenderized as I thought that it should be. But enjoy your time at the Thirsty Parrot and the food if you come. Thank you so much for joining us as we enjoyed everything that St. Lucia had to offer, even as we rode in a helicopter and hiked Pigeon Island Park. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others so they can enjoy it too. Leave a comment down below about what your favorite part of the video was. Thanks for joining us.